Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Diabetes Digital Podcast. Today, I'm going to be answering a listener question, which goes as follows. My CGM shows spikes after oatmeal. Does that mean that I can't have it? The short answer is not necessarily. The long answer is let's get into it.
Welcome to the Diabetes Digital Podcast. I'm Wendy.
And I'm Jess, and we're best friends, registered dietitians, and diabetes educators.
Through our telehealth platform, diabetesdigital.co, we offer accessible and personalized virtual nutrition counseling for people with diabetes and prediabetes.
Visit diabetesdigital.co, that's C-O, to book your first appointment. We accept insurance and offer affordable self-pay options. Now, let's get into today's episode.
A glucose spike doesn't mean that oatmeal or any food really is off limits. It just means that we might have to adjust how you are eating it. So let's look at the context. How much oatmeal are you having? What are you having the oatmeal with? What time of the day is it? What part does movement play in all of this? So if you're having plain oats versus the sweetened packets, that's going to have a difference in how your blood sugar reacts. Also, are you pairing your protein with a protein-rich milk or nuts, seeds, peanut butter, things like that, additions that might have more of a stabilizing effect. If you're having your oatmeal with banana and honey, you might notice that it's going to spike a lot more than if you're adding things like peanut butter and chia seeds. So some tips to reduce those spikes are going to be including protein. So adding your nuts, maybe having a couple of boiled eggs on the side with your oatmeal. Also, one thing that you can do is trying steel-cut oats because they are digested more slowly, so they might affect your blood sugars a little differently. You can add flax seeds or chia seeds, like I mentioned. And I don't recommend writing off any food just based on one result. It's really important to try different combinations and also different times of the day and then check the pattern. One thing that you can do with all meals is walking after you eat, even if it's around the house, like walking 10 to 15 minutes, that is going to help tremendously with getting those numbers down, regardless of what it is that you're eating. And for foods that you're noticing that do cause a spike, especially foods that you really love, like for example, if you're like, okay, every time that I eat white rice, I'm noticing that my numbers are really spiking. Instead of saying, okay, I'm going to completely write this food off, maybe that means that you have less of that food and you're pairing it with things like chicken, fish, avocado, vegetables, so that you're still able to enjoy it, but it's not going to affect your blood sugars as much. Whenever you're making any changes, you really have to think about the sustainability of it all, right? So oatmeal, like other foods, it's a very practical option. If you're like, okay, I don't even like oatmeal, then you don't have to eat oatmeal. But if you're like, okay, I love oatmeal and I have diabetes or prediabetes, like I want to try to figure out a way to incorporate it, you can do that because you want to think about the sustainability of what you're doing. And it's really about looking big picture, like what are the overall patterns versus like this one single spike. Because you want to be able to include your favorite foods and still feel good and be in good health and, have numbers that show that you are balancing your blood sugar as well. But there's a lot of adjustments that can be made aside from just like, okay, I'm just going to eliminate this food entirely. So again, just to recap, if you are going to enjoy oatmeal, some things that you can do are adding chia seeds, flax seeds, nuts. You can add almonds, walnuts, pecans, for example. You can also add pumpkin seeds. That's one of my all-time favorites. You can do it that way and add it in there just so it has more of a balancing effect. You should always cook your oats with some kind of protein-rich milk, whether it's soy milk or pea milk or just regular dairy milk, because what I do find is that when people use the almond milk or they use the rice milk or oat milk, they do oatmeal with oat milk. Those milks don't really have a lot of protein. So you might be getting more of a spike when you're cooking oatmeal with these milks. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. And if you're looking for additional support with meal planning or answering whatever nutrition-related questions you have, you should check us out at diabetesdigital.co/quiz. Most of our patients pay $0 out of pocket since we're covered by insurance. And you can get an appointment in as little as 24 hours. So make sure that you check us out, and I will catch you next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode. If you're interested in nutrition counseling with one of our expert dietitians to help improve your prediabetes or diabetes, visit us at diabetesdigital.co.
Also, if you found our conversation helpful, do us a favor and rate and review this podcast on iTunes, plus share with someone who might find this helpful. You can also connect with us on Instagram at diabetesdigital.co.
And tune in every Wednesday for practical, inclusive, and culturally humble diabetes insights. We'll catch you later. Bye.